Tonight on the History Channel, we explore the Mexican-American War, the fight for Texan independence, and the impact it had on society. The conversation in this film may disturb some viewers. Scenes are reenacted by professional actors and close represent what really happened. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Santa Fe Trail was established in the August of 1821, which connected St. Louis, Missouri to the Santa Fe, and extended trade as far south as north-central Mexico. Mexicans in this region now began buying goods from the U.S. traders. A few years earlier, economic hardships had hit. A man named Moses Austin led a few hundred men to a new land, the acres granted to him by Mexico. The first 300 was named after the 300 Catholic families who moved to Texas with Stephen F. Austin. Austin was in charge of controlling immigration and established judicial and law enforcement systems and setting up civil systems. Stephen Austin led the role of selling acres of land to more Americans, and eventually Mexico prohibited the access of immigration from the U.S.
Take my hand, son.
Dad.
You must lead the 300.
Don't worry, Dad. I got you.
Honestly, I have no clue why them sons of guns followed Austin. Probably because the land was cheap. The Mexicans, they made the Texans do all sorts of stupid things like following their religious mumbo jumbo and what else? Oh yeah, the guns. Making the Texans register their own guns. What kind of man makes man register his own guns? They're my own guns.
Though there was conflict between the Texans and the Mexicans, there was no enforcement of law from the Mexican government. But that all changed when Santa Anna, the war hero, became the new president of Mexico. Santa Anna had no tolerance for the disregard of civil law.
I've had enough disrespect of Mexican law. We need to send our troops in and settle this dispute once and for all. The last thing we can do is give Texas annexation.
Senor Anna, where do you want this to be positioned?
I want you to position your soldiers everywhere.
Everywhere. With our 4,000 troops and then 300, we got this. I'm go tell them right now. Good luck.
On March 13, 1836, Santa Anna ordered his Mexican army to plan a surprise attack on the U.S. soldiers. 187 U.S. soldiers passed away that day, and Commander Travis cried to the Texan soldiers that they were fated to die for the cause of the liberty of Texas.
Oh crap, the Mexicans are coming. We gotta go take shelter to the Alamo. Fight for our lives. We must remember this day. We must remember the Alamo. We must follow these procedures, and we shouldn't surrender to Mexicans. We shouldn't rush the enemy, and we will not surrender until the last man drops. We will not surrender, Commander! No!
Oh my God. Remember the death of Davy Crockett. We won't let these sacrifices go down without a fight.
So after the Battle of the Alamo, the U.S. gained revenge at the Battle of San Jacinto.
We're gonna take it from behind, like a surprise birthday party, but for men. Alright, get him. Don't take any prisoners. Bang!
Ay, Dios mío, ¿qué voy a hacer? No quiero que me atrapen aquí. Necesito ir.
Alright, Darius, go get him!
Señor, necesito que se ame.
No me toques, eres un monstruo con cara de
Señor,
idiota.
por favor.
Santa Anna was sure as hell pissed about being caught in Battle of San Jacinto and for the Texans' win. However, the capture of Santa Anna put an end to Mexico's effort into ruining Texas. Santa Anna was put into jail along with other Mexican soldiers.
General Santa Anna, by signing this treaty, you agree to withdraw forces from the Rio Grande, not take up against Texas ever again. You will also agree to provide recognition to Texas independence, and we will set you free, sir. Sign this on the bottom of the treaty if you agree to our terms.
Alright, I just want to be out of here as soon as possible.
After signing the Treaty of Velasco, it was the sign of betrayal that Santa Anna had signed this treaty without the consent of the Mexican government. As a result, they refused to follow the treaty's terms.
The signing of the Treaty of Velasco seemed to be pointless after a short period of time, given that the Texan army refused to grant Santa Anna his release. And Santa Anna rallied up his troops again to invade Texas. This was the ignition of the Mexican-American War. Order you to plan a surprise attack on U.S. soldiers at the Rio Grande. I'll follow you there.
Sí, Señor General Antonio.
Bang!
Or not. I know how I can end this. If you can just let me go, we wouldn't bother your country anymore.
Yeah, you see what the deal is, though. We don't trust you guys. So why should we let you go?
I hate seeing my country being dominated by yours. We'll give you what you want. I want to end this.
I want to end it too. But you haven't agreed to our negotiations. So if you don't this time, we're going to take over half your land.
If there's anything, I'm willing to negotiate for the better this time.
Alright, deal.
After President Polk allowed Santa Anna to return back to his country to settle negotiations with the U.S., Santa Anna double-crossed President Polk, and he riled up an army for the Battle of Buena Vista in February 1847. Mexico suffered many fatalities, and not only losing the battle, but losing the respect for Santa Anna.
This is getting ridiculous. We need to find a way to get Santa Anna to agree with our negotiations. He needs to understand that we need to make the decision right now.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. If Santa Anna has rejected 2 of our negotiations, shouldn't we just look at negotiations from a different perspective?
Are you saying that we should negotiate with the Mexican government instead?
Of course. We shouldn't waste our time with Santa Anna. We should just call a meeting with Cuto, Artistin, and Huevas in Washington. From there, we should be able to make up a treaty.
Mr. Trish, I got a letter for you from the Mexican government.
Oh, thank you, sir. Give me a second, sir. Oh. They're actually willing to cooperate this time. So maybe I should be the one who makes the decisions this time instead of having President Polk. He's all the way in Washington, so I'm in here. So I should probably make it. I'll be right back.
Good morning, guys. And as read your guys' letter, and as a part of that letter, you are willing to accept any negotiations from the United States, including payment for the repairs in your country. And for the first off, for the Treaty of Guadalupe, I would like to negotiate you guys $15 million for any repairs in your country and the consideration of a wall to be built to mark our territory and to also mark your territory, and to also pay American citizens debt owed to them by the Mexican government. You can see that in Article 15 in your treaties. And also, we promise the civil rights of Mexicans living inside of our boundaries. And just to get away from you guys, we don't want any more disputes.
Pues, what do we do about our land covering your borders?
Well, that's obviously ours. I mean, you wouldn't get Upper California, and you must recognize Rio Grande as the southern boundary to the United States. That will be seen in Article 5. Now,
Dios
it
mío.
goes when Santa Anna betrays. Like, okay, what's this like? And with that, if we can have you sign the bottom of this treaty, that would be great for you guys to accept everything in our negotiation terms, and for you to receive the $15 million. Gracias. That would be all.
De nada.
Here's the treaty, President Polk.
Thank you, sir.
It'll be very irrational for me to deny this, considering Trist planned it. But it's actually better than we anticipated. Gather the Senate today for ratification vote.
The ratification vote was a success, 34 to 14, and on March 10, 1848, U.S. troops were removed from the Mexican capital. Commissioners Colonel John Weller and Andrew Gray were appointed into the U.S. government to monitor the progress of the boundary set to separate U.S. from Mexico.
Honestly, I have no clue why them sons of guns followed Ashton. Probably because the land was cheap.
My God, Gustavo, get out of the shot.
Sorry.
Okay, you Santa Ana, you'll be like, I just
Potato.
Okay, boy.
It's a boy.
Wait, wait!
Oh, the U.S. I know how I can end this. If you just let me go, we wouldn't bother your country anymore.
See, I don't trust you. More disputes either. But if you don't sign our agreement this time, we're going to take over half the land.
Yes, please, anything. I'm willing to negotiate for better this time.
Wait, yes, please, edit. Oh my gosh, this sounds so.
Josh.
Okay.